Hello, my awesome person. It's Ainsley here with Daily Adventure Fest. I am your life transformation coach. So today I wanted to talk to you about a topic that actually came up yesterday on a platform that I was reading through, and I thought I should address it. So the title was Needy, How to Stop Being Needy, Introverted and Emotionally Crippled and Timid. I actually did answer this person, but I also wanted to do a video because a lot of people have these problems. A lot of people have so much social fear of their own value and their own worth that, they hide behind it. And so if this is you, if you're having trouble really with figuring out who you are, what you want, getting your confidence up and getting yourself into the right headspace every day, then this is where a lot of depression comes from. This is why people get so depressed in themselves, because of these feelings, and they can't put a language on it. And a lot of people have this problem. They feel bad, and they don't feel good in themselves. They feel really unsure, a bit socially awkward, but they haven't quite found the language to explain what it is. And I know I went through this when I was 28. I was going through this, right? And I was depressed. I withdrew from everyone. I didn't feel socially valuable. And I was trying to justify it, but simply because I just didn't have the language. Like, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, so I just put it down to depression. And a lot of the times, look, with depression, okay, so there is the mental illness side, but most people who think they're depressed, generally it's because they need to make some adjustments. Because your brain is fluid and a changeable thing, right? So you're not fixed. Who you are is not fixed. If you are depressed today, it doesn't mean that you're a depressed person. And people put this label on themselves because they think that it's a part of their personality, and it's not. Or, if you've got a family member who's depressed, they think it's genetic. Now, look, our genes, and then the genes that are passed down from our parents and grandparents and whatever, of course we do pick up certain things, but not as much as you think. And I forgot to check the facts, but Dr. Joe Dispenza, who wrote the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, he talks about that, and he talks about our genes, and I'd have to check the facts, but it was along the lines of pretty much only about 3 to 5% is nature. Okay, that's genetic. And then the other 95% is nurture, which is things that you've picked up throughout your life. So your conditioning, your beliefs, your attitude, your memories and past experiences, your values and what's important to you, your attitude to life and your disposition. All of these things can be changed. Like, who you are can be completely changed. Like, if you decide today, right, I want to be more charismatic, you can become more charismatic. And it starts in your brain. It starts with your thoughts. So the way you think is pretty much what creates your whole entire life inside and your external world as well, and how other people treat you. So, for example, if you don't value yourself, maybe you got bullied at school, so you've grown up with the belief, and it's underneath, like in your subconscious. It's not a conscious thing, but you've grown up with the belief that you're not valuable, and that maybe you have to prove yourself to people and big up yourself and talk about money and cars and the possessions you have, rather than just demonstrating who you are. And unfortunately, we do this. I used to do this. I was the poor little rich girl, and I know that's a little bit humble bragging, but I was that kid, but I felt like I had to prove myself to the other kids by devaluing myself, because I learnt at an early age that I didn't want other people to feel uncomfortable around me, because my family had, they weren't wealthy, millions and billions of dollars, but they were very well to do. And so I dumbed myself down, and I really lacked a lot of confidence. It became a part of who I was. I started swearing, I got rebellious, started doing a lot of things that just to fight against the stereotype of the little rich girl and whatever, because I didn't want to be seen to be that. I wanted to be seen to be a normal person, but it's ridiculous because I was. I was a normal person. That was just my perception. And so as a result, I had a lot of low self-esteem. Always in friend groups, wondering if I was valuable to the group. Or, because at school, I was in the bitchy cool girls group where one day the leader decides that they don't like you today, and so everybody turns against you. And that's fucked up. Like, school can really fuck you up for adulthood if you don't nip it in the bud. And so then as you go through life, you keep thinking these things. Like in my 20s, in my early teens, I started drinking a lot, trying to be cool, whatever, drugs. Got to my 20s, still doing it, started traveling. And I always felt like I had to prove to other people my worth outside of myself. And I didn't realise until I got to 29 and started doing a lot of self-help stuff. I became that cliche where I should have got 10 cats. And that I realised that I needed to work on here first before I could fix any aspect of my life. And so here, how to stop being needy, introverted and emotionally crippled. This is where it starts, and this is what's carrying along for you and how you're not valuing yourself within friend groups and, with other people. And it's about building your brain like you do at the gym, like you do with your body when you go to the gym and try and get that, big round booty for the girls or the six-pack for the guys or whatever. You have to go to brain gym and make a decision that you are done with feeling like this. You're done with devaluing yourself. And I found that as I started to do the personal development, that would uncover a lot of stuff. Like, it's a lifelong thing. We kind of start as a child and we're fresh and everything's exciting and full of wonder, but then we get tainted by parents and, the society at large and our peers and other people who we can't blame them because they're going through the same system, but being influenced by things that we get to a certain age and we have to undo all of the shit. Now, luckily, this person's only 20, so this is the beginning of an incredible journey for you if you're watching this, because you now know that there's this awareness that you can change your brain and you can change your personality and your identity. It's not a fixed thing. Okay? So in the latest neuroscience research, what happens is that because we've got neurological pathways, right? I need my whiteboard. But our brain is full of billions of neurological pathways. And so we can't focus on every single bit of stimuli that's happening around us. We can't. It's impossible. So we only take in what's relevant through our 5 senses. And I'll slow that down and repeat that again because I know that can be a little bit like, what? So, hang on, changing hands. And so what happens is that, say for example, I'm sitting in this room, right? I'll do a bit of a circle. So there's a puppy on the floor. Okay, now, I don't know if I'm scanning the kitchen right. Sorry if I'm not. I'll go back around even. Bit of an up and down. Okay. So you would have noticed certain things, but you would have completely missed and overlooked others. And so what you're doing, when you're in this negative frame of mind, you're looking at, in psychology, they call it confirmation bias. So you will look for things to validate that belief that you have. So, for example, like I look around the dog, it's a living thing. You kind of do notice that more than non-living things. You would probably notice that the kitchen's got blue tiles because that stands out. That's the loudest, right? You might notice, like you probably didn't see it, but there's a big bag of cacao on the bench. If you're a health nut like me and you love cacao, then you would know, well, you probably wouldn't know by looking at that. But you know what I mean. If you walked in here, you'd be curious about it. And so our brains can only process certain information within our environment. And so we only look for what's relevant to us. Sometimes we look for things that aren't even there. Actually, everything that we look for isn't there. I know that that's a bit of a mind twist. But basically, we look for things and then we find them, which validates the belief that we have about ourselves and the society at large. So say, for example, if you meet a group of people and you are feeling really insecure and a little bit needy and a bit unsure of yourself, then you're going to project that onto them, okay? Because your thoughts will create like a bunch of feelings, and your body it'll activate certain aspects of your body. You know, you might get sweaty palms, or your hands might shake, or you might stutter a little bit, or, you know, there's a physiology going on. That's like the tiny little nuances. The other things, like your facial muscles, okay, will reflect. I can look at someone and know when they're feeling insecure. I can look at myself and know when I'm feeling insecure, obviously, because I'm in my body, but I know. Okay, and just so you know as well, like feeling insecure, it's a human trait. Okay, well, not a human trait, but it's a human emotion, trait, either one, that we all have. Like, I've got insecurities, even though I do what I do. The most successful people in the world have insecurities. We all have insecurities, so you're not a special snowflake. So you can breathe a sigh of relief and go, you know what, you're perfectly normal, okay? There's just a few thoughts and beliefs you've got running in yourself, about yourself, in terms of how you see the world and how the world sees you. So anyway, back to the friend group thing. So then what happens in your body? You'll do that. And then the words you use and the tone you use, all of these little tiny things will project when you interact with other people. And so they will respond in reaction to that. It's like a big mirror. So if you think about it, when people treat you how they do, they're pretty much holding a mirror up and showing you yourself. And so when you see that, like, we can get a little bit, this is why we get angry at other people. This is why we lash out and blame other people for things. Because we don't like what we see in the mirror. We don't like this stuff being shown up at us. My brother did it the other day. And we do this, him and I, we butt heads a lot because we have a mirror that we show up to each other, and we don't like what we see. And out of ego, we hold on to it because I don't want him to be right. I don't want him to think he can do that again, sort of thing. Like, and it's just what we do. It's human. And so then you know, if you're getting feedback from people like that, in that way, then you know it's like, okay, they're holding a mirror up to me. What do I need to do? Now, what you need to do isn't what you think. This is bigger than that, okay, or the advice I'm going to give you. What you need to do to value yourself, first of all, is get really clear about your future and what you want out of life. Because Tony Robbins says that people who get depressed don't have compelling goals. So you can have goals, everyone's got goals, but if you're not working towards them and you're not achieving and seeing the benefits of achieving them, then you'll get depressed. I mean, I speak to people all the time that their big dream is to get married and buy a house and settle down. But they don't feel compelled. There's no fire inside of them to go, yes, I'm going to make this happen. It's all hoping that it'll happen to them. It's all very passive. And when you do this, this is why you get depressed, because you've given away your control to the external world. Like, you've just gone, oh, okay, take me. And that's what you're going to get. Like, you're going to get dished out whatever is thrown at you because you're just passively letting it. And so that's the thing. You need to take control of that and go, right, what do I want to do? And this is a process. Like, don't be hard on yourself if you can't figure it out tomorrow, okay? It's taken me 8 years and 4 different businesses to finally get to the spot of what I was really, really aligned and happy with, all right? And there's been a lot of being broke, being depressed, suicidal even in some cases, wondering what the hell I was going to do and how I was going to do it, and thinking I was going to fail, and then giving up, and then going back to waitressing, which I hate because it's not where I'm at. I got fired. I'm not an employee, you know. And that's the thing. So you've got to look at it as well. Why, like, if you're going from job to job to job, why are you going from job to job to job? Usually it's because you've got entrepreneurial tendencies. I can't remember how many jobs I've had. I wouldn't even know. Yeah. I don't even know how many times I've been fired. Like, I am not an employee. I'm just not. And so maybe that's something that you need to look at. What do I want to do? What's my big, ridiculous dream? Like, do you know what I'm doing right now? I'm house sitting in Costa Rica. My big dream, 2 years ago, like I've travelled before and I've been a tour guide in Australia and New Zealand and Africa, lived in London, I've lived in Curacao in the Caribbean before, in my 20s, and now I've come back out travelling like nearly a year ago. And my dream was to house sit luxury homes and like look after dogs and things, and I have. I went to the States and then I went to Mexico and did it, and then I lived, like I was in Guatemala for a while, didn't do it there, and then came to Costa Rica, and I've been here almost 3 months. My 3 months is nearly up. I've spent $500, actually less, because I've been house sitting. So, and they feed me as well, like I don't have to buy food. So that's what I mean by compelling ridiculous goals. If you want to travel, you can do it. You don't need heaps and heaps of money. I mean, you can do things like HelpX, which is like work for food and board, but you don't you don't have to do that. You can just be a house helper or just like look after dogs like I do, because it's beautiful, because I then get to work on my own stuff, because these guys sleep all day until I get up and go somewhere, and then they follow me. And that's the thing. And so anything's possible, like anything. I mean, I didn't think I'd be a tour guide in Africa. I didn't even think I'd ever go to Africa. But I did. I was a safari guide for in Africa for a year. And so there are so many possibilities. Anything that someone else is doing means that you can do it too. Okay? This is what's going to lift your confidence. Not sitting in the problem. Like, get the fuck out of the problem. Okay? I know it's hard. I know. I've been there. I've been doing a shit ton of personal development work on myself for my money mindset lately. Because it's a quest. Like, you don't just do a course. Say, for example, if you want to learn more about yourself and how to be a better person, you don't just do a course and expect your whole life to be fixed. Like, this is a daily thing. And, I mean, it helps that you're passionate about it. You might not be passionate about it, but that's okay, because there's a million other ways to get your confidence up. And it is looking way bigger than the thoughts that are going on in your head right now. There was a couple more. Hang on. Let me see what else I've written down. Get clear. The other thing as well is like getting clear about the types of friends. Like, you might not, if you don't fit in with certain people, maybe they're just not your people. That's okay. You don't have to be friends with everyone. Like, for me, by nature, I'm a bit of a loner. I've travelled on and off for a very long time and moved to so many different places that and anyone coming with me would, like, they wouldn't. No one would. And so I have no problem with my own space and my own company. And so you need to get used to your own company and love your own company, because when you do, then you don't need people anymore. You want them. And that's great. You want people and you want to be around them, but you don't need them. And when you don't need them, that's super, super empowering. But yeah, so with friends, yeah, like go to meetup groups, meetup.com. If you're struggling to find things to talk about, meetup.com has all sorts of different groups in your area. Obviously, cities are a little bit more, there's more groups in cities than the country. But still, look, meetup.com is brilliant for going to group things, group events and whatever, that are based around what you like to do. So if you're into fitness, so if you're into stand-up paddleboarding or surfing, so if you're into going out and socialising and partying, like there's so many different groups that you can join with like-minded people who are probably feeling the same way, because this is a human thing. The person who never gets uncomfortable around other people is a rare snowflake, okay? And usually it's a learned skill, because we all go through it, okay? The other thing as well is just like read lots and lots of books on personal development, success. I'm cheating here, it's all written down. Get audio books, watch videos like mine, and documentaries. Look up Law of Attraction, Emotional Freedom Technique. When you start focusing on the solving of the problem rather than the problem, you're going to feel instantly better. Every single day I learn. Every day. Like this morning I spent 3 hours watching, doing a sales training with Grant Cardone. And the shifts that I had just doing that, just like, wow. You know, when you start to see your future laid out because you're creating it, man, it gets so exciting. Like, it's so exciting. 2 years ago, I was with my ex-fiance saying, why don't we go house sitting overseas in the Caribbean? And he wasn't really up for it. That's probably why we're not together, amongst other things. But, yeah. So I was talking about it then. Wasn't it? It's 3 years ago now because I've been doing it for a year. So there's just, you've got no excuse to make these changes in your life. You just have to do them. And when you get clear about that, fuck, your life's going to fly. Like, it's going to fly. I guarantee it. So if you want my help, I've created my Fantasy Life Starter Pack. At the end of this video, there'll be like fancy music and a link as well so that you can go onto my website to grab that. In this pack, so what I do is give you all of the tools that you need to help you with your mindset. So I do talk a lot more about Law of Attraction and how you, my friend, can actually design your future. Now, I know that sounds a little bit woo-woo, but all of my stuff is science-backed. So I got into Law of Attraction years and years ago, but I was still a bit like, yeah, I don't know if I buy it. I don't know, you know. But then I started to study and research the science of it and discovered that there's a whole science behind it. And so I teach you how to do that in this. So there's four gifts. It's a lot of fun. 4 gifts in there in this starter pack. So the first one, Fun Brain Goodie Bag. So that's where you get the transformational stuff, the mindset stuff. Okay, there's also an audio, my pants-kicking, life-starting motivational audio to give you the insight, first of all, into the way you're thinking and why you're not moving forward, and also to get you moving, like get you motivated and feeling confident, because you've got to pump this energy up in yourself. Like, it's my job to help you do that, but it's your job to do it. Okay, your job, totally your responsibility. I can only dish out the stuff that will help you. So, and then after that as well, in that part of the pack, in the goodie bag, you'll also get my Fear Smash 4-step. So I give you 4 steps to smash your fears. Okay? You'll also get VIP membership into my Adventure Fest group on Facebook. You will also get my Fantasy Life Creation Pack. So the starter pack is the big box, and then you get all these cool, fun little boxes inside them as well. So the Fantasy Life Creation Pack is about creating your fantasy life. So I talk about the 5 things that you need to implement. Okay? These are the 5 things that if you want to change any aspect of your life, these are just the 5 things you need to do. Like, it can be if you want to get a hot body, if you want to travel, if you want to improve your confidence, if you want to find love, if you want to just date more and have more confidence with the opposite sex, if you want more friends. This is the 5 things that you need. And then you also get a worksheet with that so that you can start planning out, so you can pick your ridiculously big dream. You might want to house sit and travel around the world. Like, it's a big dream. A lot of people don't do it out of fear. Now's the time to start, my friend. And then you'll also get a planner. So I'll help you work backwards with your dreams so that you can make it a reality. Because too many people there's this abyss, right, in between the thought that they're having and then the actual achievement of that thing. And a lot of people see that achievement of that thing as something other people do. And, you know, if they knew the steps in between, then it would make life a shitload easier and more possible for them. The other thing you'll also get in the pack is a free 30-minute session with me. So we'll go through your goals. I'll have a look at what pain you're in and figure out, we'll have a look, okay, where are you at? What's going on in your head right now? What fears do you have? What's stopping you right now from making the changes? Then we'll look at what you want and really dissect the things out of what you want, like your ridiculous dreams. Again, no mundane stuff. No, that doesn't live here in Adventure Fest. No freaking way. I want you to dream like ridiculous big. You might want to be a tour guide in Africa. I can help you do that. Anything. Yeah, and so we'll look at that, and then what we'll do is look at a strategy to help you get from out of your troubles and move point to your goals. And then if you want to work with me further, then we can chat then in the call. So all you need to do to get that is at the end of this video, there'll be a nice dancey tune because I love my dance music. And yeah, you just click on the link, you'll be taken to my website and just scroll down underneath the big picture and the opt-in form will be there. So my friend, I hope that helped you heaps. That was a long one. Excellent. Even longer than yesterday and the day before. See, I've got so much to say that I just can't help myself. So, all you need to do, click on the link at the end of this video, and I can't wait to get you out here to play. I mean, look, I'm behind bars at the moment, so that's probably not the best sell. Get out here and play because the world is waiting. So have a cracking day.